I'm going to call upon the Governing Body Chairperson, Mr. Ledwaba, to come and set the scene for the 2019 CCMA Indaba. Chairperson.
Oh, I'm going to use this one. The Macharon. Now that goes for all the other official languages. Members of the Portfolio Committee on Employment and Labor, colleagues in the governing body, the director of the CCMA, extended EXCO members, CCA commissioners and staff, speakers and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcomed. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you to the 2019 CCMA Indaba. The Indaba is one of the significant gatherings in the annual calendar of the CCMA, where the CCMA social partners and labor relations experts reflect and dissect how we have fared with the present and vigorously prepare for the future with the aim to expedite our service delivery mandate. A future with different challenges from the past and presenting new opportunities. Appropriately, the theme for this year is reflecting on the past, embracing the current, and preparing for the future. Last month, the CCMA celebrated its 23rd anniversary as the largest dispute resolution body in the world by volume of referrals. The program director has touched on the number of referrals that came through the CCMA of 193,000, which is historic and is unparalleled anywhere else in the world. That on its own is a reflection of the commitment, the dedication, and the vision that this institution carries on a daily basis. He said earlier on, give yourself a round of applause. I think that is an understatement. Give yourself a standing ovation. Thank you very much. If you have the opportunity to visit regions, you walk around the corridors at head office, you see the extent to which people, our own colleagues and employees, have literally fallen in love with the institution. With very little time to spend with their families, they put every effort to ensure that the labor market out there is stabilized. Not everybody can do that. You are a special breed, and may God bless you. We've just been told by those who read newspapers and who want to keep up to speed with challenges that are out there in the economic world. The economy has declined once more by 0.6%. And as the program director said, what it means, you must be ready and sharpen your capabilities to mitigate the negative impact of unemployment that will follow. I think after your successful intervention at the SAA, where the state-owned company was losing 500 million rands a day, your brilliance, your resilience, and your commitment was a reflection on how that dispute was resolved. We are gathered at a time when our country is experiencing low economic growth and is grappling with a high unemployment rate. The World Economic Outlook, which directly impacted by as participants in it, is not looking good either. The United States of America has taken it upon itself not only to destabilize international or other economies, but is hell-bent on destroying its own economic infrastructure. In addition, the international community is also confronted with structural changes brought about by the Fourth Industrial Revolution. We hear commentators and experts paint a dim and a bright view of what the impact is likely to be. Locally, this has required government, labor, and business to adopt an agile approach in order to effectively move towards the implementation of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. But in reality, we are told the Fourth Industrial Revolution is already here. While attending the 108th International Labour Organization Conference in Geneva, Switzerland, coinciding with the centenary celebration, the ILO adopted two key declarations. The first one was a convention aimed to address harassment and violence in the workplace. And we are mindful of violence and harassment that takes place outside of the workplace within communities in which we live, and most of that is directed against women and children. The second was a declaration by the ILO to adopt a human-centered approach on the future of work as its second centenary mandate. That whatever technological innovations or interventions that will be brought into the production processes, those should not isolate or undermine human capabilities and competencies. This simply means that while we cannot stop the Fourth Industrial Revolution, we should embrace it with a social justice lens and adopt a national approach that empowers everyone to benefit on the Fourth Industrial Revolution. We should see the enactment of the national minimum wage and amendments to employment laws as a sign of confidence on the CCMA and the potential it possesses to advance social justice and contribute to the national development agenda. We ought to amass the strength as a collective and be sharper individually to confront head-on the challenges that lie in our midst and in our horizon. Now, before I come to the brief, because I've just said very briefly, there's one or two matters that I want to talk about outside of the broad mandate of the CCMA. This institution has taken steps to make an impact in communities. In my first year of tenure, we visited a deserving community-based organization in the Northwest. And very recently, I visited another community organization in Port Elizabeth. The essence of that was that we've looked beyond what the restrictive mandate says, because we live within communities and we are a community. CCMA has become very vibrant in identifying organizations that are unable to sustain or look after themselves. We've made two contributions of 35,000 each to the Northern Cape, Northwest, and to the Eastern Cape. These are organizations that looks after the most vulnerable. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and all of those contributions come from your pocket. Can you give yourself a round of applause once more? And when I scrutinized the contribution list, I realized that there is this particular grouping in the CCMA of well-meaning individuals, some of them with fairly deep pockets, but unfortunately walk around with short arms and they cannot reach where it matters. I have said in an interview, and I thought it will be played, that the entire governing body, including an ex-officio member, must forfeit the first, what is this? Board fees. That our first board fees for the 2020 financial year will have to be contributed to this effort and initiative so that we can be able to sustain them on an ongoing basis. It is not, please do not think it is a request. It is clearly a well-thought directive from the chairperson of the governing board. I am going to suggest, even though we flagged at one point, I'm going to suggest to the director and his team that we need to look at another approach of a sustainable growth and development of this kitty. That projects that we undertook in KZN some 5 years ago, we revisit to see what is it that they're doing and what their requirements and needs are. With these brief words, I once again warmly welcome you to the 2019 CCMA Indaba and trust that you will find value in all planned plenaries and activities. The only activity that I now see is missing on Saturday is one that I have so much passion for. It's golf. But I have booked a game, and I would like anyone who would want to join me, feel free to do so. Thank you very much. Colleagues, it is 2019. It is that time of the year where recklessness on the road leads to more fatalities and loss of lives. Please take care. Do drink water. And then you can drive. Thank you.